Hey. Oh my God. Welcome back to an episode of Frank Presents the Play Call. We both joined by the team and our special guest, our resident guest, I should say, Ben. How everybody doing? We got a lot of topics to cover, so let's go into the intros. Nikki, how you doing today?
I'm great.
Not blessed and highly favored?
I'm great.
Okay.
I'm great.
All right. Ben, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Great. New York sports is back, so I'm not excited about it. So, yeah.
That's fair. And hey, you know what? It's only right to let the man whose team sits atop the
Just
NFL.
ask June how he doing. June, how you doing?
June,
Hey,
how
Nikki.
you feeling today?
Hi. I wave like this to Nikki. Look. Hi. Oh, my bad. That's 5 and 0. I'm good.
How does it feel to be 5-0, June?
Well, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? It feels the same as.
Listen, June is like, it's a moment in time. That's it. It's just a moment in time. Let's move on. All right.
Hey, we want to know. We want to know every week. You know what I'm saying? We want to know every week.
That's fair. Treat every week like it's a new week, which it is. All right, let's get it going. Nikki's going to do the recap, so let's go, Nate.
All right, Thursday night, the Colts beat the Broncos 12-9. Then the Giants, all the way in London, found a way to beat the Packers 27-22. I don't know. I wanted to say this team is struggling, but they found a way to shut out the Lions. Pats 29-0 Lions. The Chargers beat the Browns 30-28. The Texans beat the Jags 13-6. Buccaneers beat the Falcons 21-15. The Bills murdered the Steelers with 38-3. The Jets, Jets, beat the Dolphins 40-17. The Vikings pulled out the win against the Bears 29-22. The Titans beats the Commanders, poor Carson Wentz, 21-17. The Saints found a way to beat the Seahawks 39-32. The 49ers taught the Panthers how to play football by beating them 37-15. Because the Cardinals could not just kick the damn ball through the post. All they had to do was kick that damn ball through the post. Unfortunately, they didn't make it. Eagles 20-17 against the Cardinals. And who them boy? 22-10 against the LA Rams.
Overrated.
Look, Ravens found a way to finally pull a win at home this season, 19-17 against the Bengals. And on Monday Night Football, the Chiefs beat the Raiders 30-29. With all this win, week 5, the winner is Francisco. Frank got 11 predictions correct, followed by myself with 10, and June and Bree tied with 9 correct predictions. Through week 5, the leader still is June with 54 correct prediction, followed by Frank with 49, and myself with 48, and Bree with 44. The season still continues. It's still early.
Nick, you should have picked us because you would have been tied. You would have tied with Frank.
No. You know what? Ben, now that you said that, I was the only person that said the Giants could win. I was the only one. If you listen to last week, I'm like, I know I should pick the Giants,
She
but
did.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Pack.
And when we watched the game, I said, you should have stuck with your gut.
Yeah.
Listen, a lot of good things. Look, I give credit to the Giants going all the way to London, not threatened by the Packers. Obviously, we know the Packers are struggling to find an off offense, but the Giants stuck in there and played Giant football. Brian Dable over there is doing great things with that team. Y'all got a good defensive coordinator, and man, it's amazing. The Jags went down to Texas on a hard-fought battle, but they won. Came out. No, they didn't win.
The Texans came to Jacksonville.
Oh,
and we lost.
Oh, y'all. Damn it! I thought y'all won. Shit.
Don't be yourself, okay?
No. I really did. Because I was watching.
You a lie because you just said you would never pick the Jags again.
I forgot. I was drinking that day. I forgot about that. So yeah. Well, anyway, tough loss. Sorry. June.
Oh, you just want to be nasty.
No. I'm sorry. It is a tough.
Oh, don't worry about it.
June. 5-0, man. 5-0.
The Cardinals had a chance.
They did, but they didn't win. So at the end of the day, the should have, would have didn't matter because at the end of the day, they are still 5-0. But I want to ask you this question, June.
Yes.
What is one concern you have with your team?
You know what? The only concern that I had was that second half scoring. That's been my concern for this whole past the first 4 games because we just can't seem to score in the second half. I don't know what it is. Or matter of fact, not just score, but just drive the ball down without not getting any points on the board. But playing the Arizona defense and I think at this point, I think we could all agree, regardless if it's the Eagles, the Patriots, the Jags, or even the Giants. Just kidding. But if anybody was undefeated, every team is going to come for that 0. Every team is going to perform to their best every time just so they could go ahead and knock you off that pedestal. It was a trap game in our opinion, and I think we won that game. Regardless if it was a field goal or not, we still went down there. We still kicked 2 field goals in the second half. And it showed that during crunch time, even though they were coming back, we went down there and we executed.
I think that's my concern with your team as well, is the lack of consistently putting up points. I feel that they go out and they give you a good quarter of scoring. And then, obviously, if you're up by 24 points, the other team got to throw the ball. There's no running. The running game's out the window. Your defense gets to sit back and play coverage. And you got a good front, so apply the pressure. My concern is what happens when you come across that team that can put up points and you guys have a bad game.
Like the Chiefs. They're behind the whole first quarter with the Raiders. And at the end of the day, today they won that game because of the second quarter.
So
I think that game has to happen eventually. But as long as we make it to the playoffs, we need that game so we could adjust. So when we do make it to that level, it's not new to us when that does happen.
Yeah.
Just like that loss, Like we need that loss. I'm not gonna say I won it against these damn Cowboys, but we want that loss because we want to
be humbled. I agree. That loss matters. People say undefeated is great. Let me tell you something. It's better to go, 16-1 and win the Super Bowl than go 18-1 and lose Super Bowl. So I'm not going to talk about my team shutting out the number 1 scoring offense because at the end of the day, that's not what Patriot fans are used to. We used to having winning seasons and making playoffs. So one win does not define it. I want to see what the rest they do the rest of the season. So moving on to the first topic. Is Lamar Jackson critiqued more than any other quarterback in the league?
Yeah, we know that.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, he is.
That was an easy question.
Well, no. Why? Ben, why do you
They must have never taught you in school not to ask these dumbass.
I don't want to bring this up, but it's because of the skin color, because they never seen nobody like on Lamar before. I mean, Michael Vick, but Lamar is like a different breed though, an athlete. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on that. On why he gets critiqued a lot.
June?
I think for the sole fact they're gonna blame it on the lack of the sole fact that he didn't sign that contract and he represented himself. And now every time he doesn't have those big games, they're gonna go right back to why didn't he sign that contract?
Yeah, but they've been critiquing him before that.
No, but I think that right there is just gonna be the addition to the madness. Why didn't he do it? His last year is his contract. Look at him having a bad game. Now he's gonna regret it. So on and so forth.
So Nick, what is your what? And I'm gonna tell you why I asked the question. I don't think it's a dumb question. Some people feel like he's not. We all think he is. But it was a talking point because I feel that he's in a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation.
He is.
He can't please the masses, right? One minute, and we even critiqued him, said, "Hey, he can't complete passes downfield. He's inconsistent when it comes."
Didn't I say that the other day? What did I say the other day?
Sunday,
I said, yeah, he's damn if he don't. He sit in the pocket and throws, and they don't make it. And I'm like, why didn't he run? He could have definitely got that first down. And then if he runs and don't throw, it's he just because he can't throw. He's not gonna win. It is what it is, right? But I think they could seek him obviously because of that, right? And I don't want to say skin color, but I think because the way he is. Listen to the way Lamar talks. He need to do something to his hair. It's just the way he holds himself. It's very, I hate to say this word, and it's because I can't really think of another word that fits it. He don't articulate his well, like he don't talk. Like he talk hoodish. You get what I'm saying? And when you, even though what he says makes 110% facts, you get what I'm saying? It's because the way he is. It's just the way he carries himself. And because we could see, he can't throw. He throws. He should have ran. He ain't gonna win.
I also feel that the lack of success in the postseason and some of the shortcoming of the team helps the naysayers, the people that want to hate on him.
But that's not fair. You want to know why? Because Aaron Rodgers had the same issue.
Yeah, but Aaron has a Super Bowl ring. Aaron is a two-time, well, he's a four-time MVP and back-to-back MVP.
Half of it is questionable.
Well, you're right, but that's the difference. Is the resume speaks for a different volume, right? It's why sometimes my picks go wrong, right? Because I give the people credit for what they've done and what they can do. That I assume the potential's there, they're gonna do it, and then they don't do it, and it's like, well, damn, I should have picked the other team if I would have just went with, like we said, the eye test, not historical data, not the historical number, not none of that. Just go off what we seeing right now. What team is hot? I'm gonna go with that one. What team is fighting to win? I'm gonna go with that one. And a lot of us, especially people that have been watching sports for a while, you tend to go with the number, the experience, the historical data, whatever, like when Giants was driving and they had the lead and here goes Aaron with the ball at the last few seconds of the game. And they're showing the replay when he threw a Hail Mary to Randall Cobb in the end zone against the Giants. You live off that because, if he did it once, he could do it again. So I think that when it comes to Lamar, the best thing he could do is be himself. And if that's run the ball, because what carried them this last Sunday was him run the ball.
Yeah, him running the ball.
Let's be honest. When they needed to get down there and kick that field goal and score, who got him there? It was him running the ball. Nothing else. He put that team on his back and he got him down to where he needed to get.
Like he typically does.
Yeah, he put the field goal and that's it. So I do think he's critiqued. I also think Ben has a point. I do think race plays a part in it, But when he was getting drafted, a scout, ex-GM, whatever white guy said, he's a running back at quarterback. And that stuck because when he got voted unanimously as the MVP, they brought that up. When his numbers steadily starting getting better over the years, they bring that up. And, he kept that in his mind. Like, why can't I be a quarterback? And there is a stigma in NFL history, in American history, where certain cultures are not as good or perceived to be as good as others. And that's also fact. So I do think that he is critiqued more, or at least held judged more, I should say, than any other quarterback or even player for that matter, because of what he does. You know what I'm saying? He messes up a throw and it's damn, Lamar should have had better judgment. Mahomes does it and it's he was under pressure.
The receiver.
Yeah, the receiver wasn't there or whatever. Brady doesn't. It's all, whatever. People with these names and stuff attached to them get a buy, get like a
pass.
There you go, a pass. So yeah, I think we all agree with the same thing. I hope he keeps balling though. We'll talk about the games next week at the end of this. So the next topic is, and it deals with Ben's team here. So he's gonna go first on this one. Packers lost to the Giants. Are the Packers bad, or are the Giants really contenders, real contenders? Ben, go first.
I'm gonna say the Packers are bad because I won't say we're contenders yet because we don't have no receivers. Yeah, we don't have we don't have no receivers, and we need like another corner because our corner got hurt the last game, so we basically had like street players out there playing corner. So, but the Packers they need everything. Like they need a receiver, they need they need Bakhtiari back to fix the line because the line was atrocious, and I mean the receivers they have like Watson and I don't know the other guy's name, but they're rookies, so Aaron has to have the chemistry with them, and he still doesn't have it yet. So overall, I think the Packers are not good. I don't understand why they have them so high still in the rankings. They should be at least like like top 15, not top 10, because they're nowhere near top 10 to me. But I just think the Packers are just trash. So that's just my thoughts.
Drew?
The crazy thing with the Packers is I do believe that what's his name, Lazard, the receiver Lazard.
Oh yeah.
I think he could be the next superstar receiver over there, right? Because he's shown like those highlights where he can be someone, but I think he can't be that someone. I think he still needs that supporting cast over there because I mean you see what happened when he was out the game. He was hurt. They kind of struggled the first couple games, but I think they're getting it together. It's kind of weird. I think they will still make the playoffs. I mean, I think when you got Aaron Rodgers back there and you got Aaron Jones, it's Aaron Jones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Jones back there. I mean, those two right there, and you got Lazard. I mean, it's only three, but I mean, as long as everybody tightens up, they can still make the playoffs. I don't think it's over for them at all. They're 3-2. Let me tell you, I was gonna tell you the other day, the damn commentators pissed me off. They were like, "This is their worst start under Matt LaFleur's, first 5 games." They're 3-2, my dude. 3-2. They're not 0-5. They're not 2-3. They're 3-2. They're probably doing a lot better than other teams in the NFL. So I don't see a concern over there at all. I mean, they lost to the Giants by 3 points, right? What was the score?
I got you. 27-22.
Honestly, they didn't get blown out or anything like that. They came back on them. They lost that game. However, they just had a bad fourth quarter.
Nick?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think that the Giants are contenders right now, and the Packers are looking bad. The only reason I say that is you got to give credit where credit's due. You got to give credit where the credit's due. What the Giants? 4-1, 4-2. What they is?
The East is carrying the entire NFL right now.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, and that's facts.
But we are.
Facts. So if you're gonna say that, the Packers are okay, they're 3-3, then you have to say the Giants are contenders currently. It is what it is. I agree. On top, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I agree because I mentioned the Giants. I do agree with what you were saying, Nikki, not to cut you off. The Giants are contenders, and the scarier part is maybe it's talking topic for something else. This is Daniel Jones' last year. You know what I'm saying? So
he bought. He trying to.
It's a cheap buy. You know what I'm saying? Why not?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think that we talked about this before the season started, where A-Rod was talking about his receivers are bad and whoop. We knew they were going to struggle. And that's exactly what's happening. They're struggling. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that Barkley is carrying that offense right now?
I think it
For
helps.
sure.
I think it helps.
I think it helps. Yeah, I don't think he's the only one though.
So
I think they're gluing just enough to push it together.
So I'm agree with Nikki. It's a little bit of both.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both.
Every time a team wins, there's got to be you're either going to manhandle the other team or there's going to come a little luck and a little bit of chance that goes your way, right?
Yeah.
I think they caught the Packers at the right time, trying to discover or figure out their identity of who they're going to be. And the Giants are gluing that they're kind of they're coming together at the right time. They got a new head coach that's growing a culture there. And let's be honest, sometimes when you have too many good weapons, you don't shine. It's sometimes better to have average players that do great things than great players that do average things. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when you had Odell there and everything, there was so much expectations with Odell. And then y'all brought Sterling Shepard, and then you figured you had a 1-2 punch, and then Barkley was there, and there was so much there. But now you don't have all that. You don't have Evan Ingram no more. You know, he had potential to be great, got injured a lot. Now he's with the Jags. I still think he's a good tight end. You know, you sit out there and you look, and I just feel that on Sunday morning in London, the Giants stayed composed and said, you know what, we have a chance. Let's not go out here and play like we're underdogs. Let's go out here and play like we deserve to win. And they caught the Packers.
Like we professionals.
Yes, like they
And
professionals.
we shut them out the second half too, by the way, because they didn't score no points. Like we get to the points.
Exactly. So who adjusted better? You know, we said this last week. I'll say it again this week, and I think we all agree the difference between Patrick Mahomes losing Tyreek Hill but still having Kelsey and Aaron Rodgers losing at Devontae Adams but still having Aaron Jones is that Mahomes is taking what he has and he's throwing the ball to everybody. He doesn't care. You catch it, you don't.
Right.
We're gonna get a chance at
this. You're gonna get a chance. Right.
But I think Aaron, because of his cockiness and how he is and the fact that he's been accustomed to having at least a good wide receiver one the whole time he's there, doesn't allow him to sit out and say, let me try other people, you know?
Let me develop other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's still early. Just like you said, June. Oh, it's not, you know, it's they're 3. It's still early, but if they don't tighten up quick,
oh yeah,
time is gonna, you know, it won't be of the essence.
So tighten up quick. Getting it together leads to this next question. It's a 2-part question, right? And it deals with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Is it to panic in Pittsburgh? And are the Steelers' struggles based on the fact they didn't rebuild?
Didn't I say last week? Was I the only one that said that I'm nervous for them?
I think I asked the question, do you panic?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I am.
So, Nikki, go first. So, again, the question is it time to panic in Pittsburgh? And are the Steelers' struggles based on the fact that they didn't rebuild?
I think it's a little bit of both, too. So, I don't, you know what? Before I really...
Go ahead and get it out, girl.
No, I want to go see their schedule.
Oh, well, while you do that, I'm going to say this. It is time to panic in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, most definitely.
He is staring down the barrel, and when I say he, Tomlin, of his first losing season.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I do feel that they didn't rebuild. When they drafted Najee Harris, Bree was like, oh, no, they didn't have to go offensive line. They did right by going running back, blah, 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 blah. I still think an offensive line is probably one of the most important things in that offense when you're trying to protect the quarterback and run the ball. How many times in these games have we seen the offensive line take charge of the defensive line and move the ball? Raiders were doing it for a little bit there against the Chiefs. Other teams have done it against other teams. When you control the line of scrimmage and your offensive line is protecting and moving defensive players around, and you can have a mediocre quarterback back there that with enough time can get the ball downfield. You have a running back that has open lanes now. And let's just be honest, anybody that watches football, we know, if I know that Najee is your only weapon you have, then I'm stacking the box. You're not running on me. I'm going to force you to throw the ball. But guess what? If I have to worry about you getting the ball downfield, then I can't stack the box like I want. I can't poly blitz like I want because you're going to get the ball out. They didn't rebuild. I don't agree with them saying that they should have threw Pickett in there first. No, you brought Trubisky in there for a reason. Let him play. Let him play because now you're throwing his quarterback in there and he's not having any luck. That could play in his psyche. That could play in his head and say, man, am I that good? When it's really not. It's you could be great, but your talent around you is subpar. It's not great. And when you're 0-8 because you don't have a defensive player in there's 3 phases of football. There's an offense, a defense, and special teams. Just because you don't have one player in there should not matter whether you win or lose games. It should not matter. So that's
the problem is they're like losing.
June.
I think that man, I was in, you know, when you're on retirement mode, you get to watch a lot of TV.
Yes.
And it feels good too. So you know, one of the things that I was thinking about was, man, last week I still thought that with Kenny Pickett, because think about it, he looked great in the preseason, and I said it during the preseason. It's just a preseason; they're not playing real players, or whatever the case is. But he hasn't looked good. But now it does bring up the question. Man, they were talking about in Get Up this morning. They said, man, Kenny Pickett looks like he's the only player that wants to win in that team, and because of that failed rebuild, it's going to look like that every time. You got Najee Harris. He's great, but was he really the player that they needed when they picked the running back? They picked Pickett at the 20th round or whatever the case is, in the 20th selection. So was he the piece that they needed? Because now they ain't got an O line like that. They don't got a D line like that. But they got Kenny Pickett and they got Najee Harris. So, you know what I'm saying? You still got Kenny Pickett and Najee Harris. What about the pieces that are going to make those two positions actually work and click? So, just seeing it unfold, it just seems like, man, maybe they should have went that rebuild phase instead of their rewriting phase. That's what they call it. Was it a rebuild or just a rewrite? And they rewrote the position of the missing running back and the missing quarterback, not the rebuilding the positions that they need to make that team what it was.
I think so. I agree with that.
So you think it's a little bit of both, or is it?
I think so. I think man, they said some disrespectful shit earlier too. They were just like, man, they draft the last 2 years, their draft pick seems like it came from an organization where they didn't know what the hell they were doing, because they failed to draft in the positions they needed, which would have put them in their rebuilding phase instead of rewriting. Which they lost Ben, let me sign the quarterback. They lost Bell and another running back, let me sign old buddy, Najee Harris. So I think they should have rebuilt. I think that they should have rebuilt, and that would have been better for them in the long run. Except now they're kind of stuck trying to make things happen.
Ben, do you have anything you want to add to that, or?
Yeah, they should have took notes from us in 2018 when we took Saquon.
Mute Ben.
Mute
Ben.
No, I'm no. This
came off crazy, man. It came off crazy, man. I'm here.
This is true. They should have took notes from us and don't drop a running back so high. They should have focused on the line and make sure the line was fixed for the future quarterback. But yeah, I think it's definitely time to pay, because I saw their schedule and yikes, they got some tough games coming up. They got the Eagles
that's
coming
what I'm
up.
supposed to look at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, but but I think Tomlin would get it like fixed, but he's gonna have to like, this is gonna be his losing season, so he has to make some readjustments and make sure it doesn't happen again.
No, go ahead, Nick.
You think they're gonna lose? It's not gonna be a winning season for the team?
No.
Mm.
No.
Ain't no way.
I don't think teams fear them anymore.
Well,
I think that now, you right now, let's be honest, in that division is the Ravens and then probably Bengals second.
the Bengals. Yeah.
And-
Oh no, the Steelers are last, aren't they? They're
Yeah.
last.
No,
in
I mean,
the
I'm just
division.
saying that the ties have changed. In that division at any given time in the past, it could have been Steelers or Ravens.
Right.
Then now it's not even you're not even in the discussion of winning it. You got the Bengals that are adjusting and they're losing close games to some good teams.
Yeah, but they're not too far
No,
from
they're not,
the
but
Ravens. Yeah.
the
Y'all
Ravens
far.
the Ravens are, if they can get it together and come together more in some aspects, we could be looking
Well,
at
I mean, okay.
You think we could agree that the next game will be a definite make or break for the Steelers?
Oh
yeah.
no,
Or do you
but they're
think it's
playing the
already
Bucks.
done?
They're playing the Bucks.
Oh boy, yeah.
No. Regardless of the opponent, do you think it'll be a make or break guaranteed?
Well,
No.
we're going into week 6 now, and you're
Mhm.
already having a losing season. When do you start winning?
Yeah.
No.
They might be able to pull it off with the Dolphins, but that's in 2 weeks.
And do they play the Lions at any time this year?
I mean, they got the first overall
No.
pick, so if I was them, I'll just take it.
And you know what's
They don't play.
and you know what's funny?
This is the game remaining of this season for them. They're playing the Buccaneers. Then they play the Dolphins. Then they play the Eagles. They play the Saints. They play the Bengals again. They play the Colts. They play the Falcons, the Ravens, the Panthers, the Raiders, the Ravens, and then the Browns.
Jeez, yikes!
Yeah, it's a losing.
So I
I see
think
like
they might
6 wins.
they might be able to pull some wins, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, no, I think they get the Colts. I think they'll probably get the best of the Browns, maybe, because that's a divisional game, so you never know what
Yeah,
happens.
but
Carolina,
that's
too.
the last game of the season.
The Saints,
Falcons too.
and depends. It depends if Cordell Patterson come back. If Patterson comes back, that offense goes back to being a juggernaut at running back, allowing Mariota to get the ball down the field. So I mean,
Yeah, I don't think they'll get the Bucks, even though the Bucks to me,
they're struggling.
I honestly don't think they'll get the Dolphins. And I'm not. Teddy need to come back, but
Yeah,
they won't get the Eagles. The Saints is all right. They probably won't get the Saints. Definitely by November, they not gonna get the Bengals. They might with the Colts. That's a 50-50. But by that time, we're in December.
Yeah, I mean, listen. At some point, you got to consider the season a loss and start getting ready for next one. Preserve. what you
Yeah,
got.
that time Super Bowl over.
Yeah, it's gone.
So-
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not. I'm not going to. We already covered 2 of these talking points. But okay, Cowboys upset the Rams. The Rams are not the Rams of last year. We know the Rams are showing a lot of ugly stuff. People say it's the offensive line is not right, but the defense is not even showing up like it could. You have, Stafford got a lot of credit for that Super Bowl and that season, because he went to a new team and finally won a Super Bowl, got out of that slump. My question is, was it the Cowboys a real team? Cooper Rush is under center. He's still undefeated. We all thought maybe not all of us, but I thought that maybe this would be a humbling game for them if that defense could have got to him. What do you think about the Cowboys shot, upsetting the Rams?
Who going first?
I go. I'll tell you what.
Okay. Go.
No, go ahead, Nikki. Ladies first, please.
Well, I thought the Cowboys were going to win. I was the only one out of us that picked the Cowboys. So I'll say this, right? Just because June just said I should go first, it just made me think. June has always questioned the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. Yeah, last year we said we didn't think the Rams really deserved to be there. They won on the fluke. To me, they won on the fluke, right? So it's not surprising. It's not really that surprising. That they're struggling. That's number one. Number two, let's be honest. Who kind of carried the team during the Super Bowl until he went down? Cooper Kupp had to step up. Odell carried it for the first 2-3 quarters. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? It just had to finish it off. That's it. So, it is what it is. Now for the Cowboys, um, you, their defense has always been a threat. You can't make it seem like, oh, their defense ain't it. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that. The only thing is this: defense carried the team like they typically do, and offense just did enough to stay in the game. This is what I said when we first was talking about Tua, and we like, oh, can Tua do it? And I said, look, he don't have to be the best. He just has to be able to manage games. And that is exactly what Rush is doing. He is managing the game. So that's all we need for you. Don't take us out of the game. Just manage the game. And they're doing it. And they're doing it with a team, honestly, that I think the success of last year just happened to fall. I don't want to say happened to fall in that, because then they make it seem like they were trash, but everything happened the way it needs to happen for the Rams to win it. I don't think last year the Rams were the better team to actually win the game. So it is what it is. Now, what was your question about the Cowboys?
No, I mean, like, are they really, where they're at? Like, I mean, are they that team?
Yeah, but so yeah, they are. Like, the Cowboys didn't do bad last year. You know what I'm saying? It's not like see, the thing is this: the Rams ain't that team. So anybody that goes against the Rams, that outperforms the Rams, all it does is shine a bigger light on how they're not really that team. You get what I'm saying? It didn't have to be the Cowboys. It could have been. It has been other teams that don't even have similar defenses like the Cowboys. You get what I'm saying? So the Rams just isn't that team. It is what it is.
Okay, June.
Hey, Rams, it was a good run. Enjoy that Super Bowl for the next God knows how long. You know where you sitting with picks. It just ain't gonna happen anytime soon. The Rams O line obviously showed it's a big issue. You already know that Stafford with a decent line, he's gonna be a good quarterback. I'm not gonna even put him at great quarterback. With a decent line, Matt Stafford will be a good quarterback. Matt Stafford, a good quarterback that makes bad decisions. Matt Stafford with a broken line is going to be a horrible quarterback that takes a lot of hits when he's already injured or playing kind of injured. And going against Micah Parsons alone, I mean, that man alone is a freaking machine. That's what happened. Now, the Rams are who I say they always were, a fluke, right? The LA Flukes. Let's name them that for the rest of the season until they change my mind. Now we're gonna talk about these damn Cowboys. Is the Cowboys defense really that serious, right? The Cowboys defense is good. Now, with that being said, these are their first 4 games. They played the Bucks, which they got 19 points. The Bucks hasn't been a high scoring offense this year. Mm-hmm. They played the Bengals, came in with extreme. Obviously, they haven't been a high scoring offense, and they haven't been the same team since last year. They played the Giants. The Giants are averaging about 20 points a game. They got 16 that game. And they played Carson Wentz and the Commanders. So, yes, the Cowboys defense do look good, and I'm gonna primarily base that defense against around Micah Parsons, because without Parsons, I don't think that defense would be what it is. Because you can see that Diggs still gets burnt, right? And those interceptions that he's had, it ain't like he's like, oh shit, let me do my thing. They kind of fall in his lap. So it's the Cowboys defense that great. I think they're good. I wouldn't say great until they play more of a team that's a little bit more composed and a little bit more complete. So I think this will be the test for that defense. And I'm not saying that because it's the Eagles, but they're going against a 5-0 team. They're going against a team that is not just wide receiver savvy. They're weapon savvy when it comes to just tight ends, their receivers, their running, their mobile quarterback capability, right? So I think this will be the test for the Cowboys. Cooper Rush, Cowboys, you'll be crazy as hell to take him out and put Dak in here and rush him in there with that thumb injury. That'll be the dumbest thing you can do at this point. Like Nikki, I do agree with Nikki. Cooper Rush is a crazy game manager. The Cowboys need that because the defense is doing most of the work. CeeDee Lamb ain't the CeeDee Lamb from last year. It hasn't shown at least. I mean, statistic wise, and you already know Elliott ain't it. I don't even know why they just trade that man and they don't make Pollard the dude, but ain't nobody gonna take that salary or that contract. And other than that, when we take away that running game from the Cowboys, how else are they going to put points on the board?
All right, Nick, what's up? You want me and Ben gonna sit this one out. Y'all go ahead.
No. So see, June. This is the only problem I have with you. I think I
spoke teams. Legitimate teams that ain't been putting points on the board.
June. Hold on, June. Hold on, right? Because I'm not against what you're saying. I can actually understand what you're saying. The only issue I have with you is this. I said last week, I said the same thing about the Eagles. You played this team, you played that team, you played this team, which they ain't even, you know what I'm saying? And you said, oh no.
What? We beat the number one high scoring offense. We beat the team that y'all lost to. I mean, what are we talking about here? Come on. Let me see what you're trying to say.
We're playing professionals.
we talking 5 weeks now. Let's go.
No, but June. I'm not even saying what you're saying is wrong. You pick and choose when you want to make your facts to fit your narrative. So hold on. Because I agree with you.
Credit.
You know, I said, hold on, sweetheart. Hold on, because I didn't cut you off. I raised my hand. I didn't even. Okay. You're right. The Bucks, they've been struggling, but the Bucks has been a contender team. They beat a team that put your fucking hand down. You know, that's a team that is we're knocking them out as contenders, even with them struggling. Shit, last year the Buccaneers struggled in the beginning. At the end of the day, they made it to the playoffs. You get what I'm saying? They probably didn't go far, but they made it there. So I always feel I'm the one person that has said this. A good team lose. They're afforded to lose games. You get what I'm saying? They're entitled. Everybody's entitled to it. But for you to try to downplay that, they didn't really play nothing. They scored 19. To me, that game was trash. And them scoring 19, for me, if you want me to be real honest, I don't give a fuck that they scored 19 and whatever. Dak didn't play well because the Cowboys clearly could have scored as well, but they had 3 points that entire game. You get what I'm saying? It's other teams like that play from behind, or other teams that, for example, there's teams that play behind and won the game. Okay, this season. Okay, this season, Dolphins is one. The Chiefs is another. This season. So to try to discredit, what other team he said they played this team. They don't do that, because it's the same thing I said about yours. Y'all didn't really play nobody. Y'all first real to me personally, I didn't think the Cardinals were really those big of a contender to y'all, and it was a field goal it was a kick that caused them at least overtime and with y'all. Y'all biggest contender right now is the Cowboys. Even if y'all beat them, they were the biggest contenders for y'all, for real, to date.
Hey,
it is what it is.
I never discredited the Cowboys.
No, yes,
defense.
you did.
I did not. I said it's based around. Take Micah Parsons as the defense. Do you really think that the Cowboys are the Cowboys
can't, because he's
now?
part of the defense.
No, I'm saying take him out.
Half of y'all
take him out the defense.
Take one person out. Take AJ Brown out. One of y'all said y'all wouldn't have won. It's some games that AJ Brown saved y'all.
He had 31 receiving yards. He had 31 receiving yards last game.
No, we're not only talking about last week. Pick another game that AJ Brown took y'all over.
Okay, we still would have had Goddard. We still would have had Watkins. We still would have had Smith.
But
We
y'all
still would
didn't,
have
y'all
had
didn't. You
the running.
no. You see,
Come on.
this is why you and I argue, because it's not the fact that I don't feel like you talk facts, because sometimes I really do. I agree with what you're saying. The only part that I dislike is you highlight facts to fit your narrative, where the same fact that is against your team, you're blind.
We were winning.
Oh, shut the fuck
We have a 0 right next to the 5. I think I have the upper edge on
but
on
June,
saying stuff
having
like
a 0 next to the 5 doesn't mean that don't state like, hey, look.
I just told you what our problem was.
June, let's be honest, because you could talk big caca on here. On Sunday, you became real mute half of the damn
what
game.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Listen,
hello. Let's speak back. You know where I was? I was in a deathbed.
Let's speak back.
Let's leave it there, because we do have a few more topics we got to talk about. Me and Ben want to talk about something else. So
y'all been not talking about nothing serious, because
hold on, Frank. Hey, Frank, one last thing.
What's up?
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Hey, look. The Cowboys are averaging 22 points under Cooper Rush on the offense. Okay? They're averaging 22 points. All right? That's what we're averaging on the first half of the game. But that's different.
And that's it. After that, you get shut down.
You could, and I'm not saying anything. What I'm trying to tell you is, I didn't say the
Cowboys
defense was bad.
We do that in the first quarter, but the second quarter, y'all get 3.
Hey, I didn't even have my hand raised, but they're kind of both up now. Look, all I'm trying to say is, I wasn't discrediting what the Cowboys, the wins. I'm just talking about the amount of points that the Cowboys has allowed, or the average points that them teams have been placing in the first four weeks to begin with. So, what are they having? They're having sacks. Okay, cool. I mean, shoot, my freaking running back, my damn quarterback.
This is why.
This is number 2. Hold on.
Because 2 minutes ago, we're 5-0. We're 5-0.
Is number 2.
I'm not trying to credit. Well, what have they done?
What are you talking about?
But wait, June. You brought up that they only put up 22 points average on offense, right? The Cowboys are the number 3 scoring defense. They only allow an average of 14.4 per game.
Bro, June always.
The Eagles are giving up 17.6 on defense. So if you do that math, right? If the Cowboys are only giving up 14 and you're allowing 17 and they're averaging 22, if they have a good game, that means Cowboys could win.
And they're still not favored.
I
with
know
those stats.
They're not favored because you're 5-0.
Hey, and
there's other teams that haven't been favored that's won the game.
Hey, I'm gonna leave it like, because I know this is what Ben is thinking. Ben is thinking we could lose that game.
Hey, Ben is done talking. Once you talk about the Giants, Ben is done.
I'm reading Ben's mind. Let me tell you what Ben is thinking. Ben is thinking, man, the Eagles could lose that game, or the Cowboys could lose that game, and the East would still be running the entire NFL division-wise.
Listen, we all agree with you.
Well, with that let's move on to the next topic. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is an underdog for the first time at home. Are the Chiefs being disrespected?
You mean when they played the Raiders?
No, this upcoming Sunday, they are underdogs at home to the Bills.
I think so. I still believe. I mean, I don't know. Josh Allen and Mahomes, to me, Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Lamar, right? Those 3 right there. And hold on, in the AFC, I said coming in that the team to beat was always the Ravens, and I'm still gonna stick to that, because once Lamar adjusts, it's a different topic. I'm not gonna go into it. Once he adjusts, he's gonna be the quarterback to beat, highest grossing, highest contract quarterback to have at the end of this season. Different story. However, yes, I think Mahomes is being a little bit disrespected. But I don't know. They're kind of equal. I can't really say that he is or he isn't. I would just say 50-50 shot. I think Mahomes is a little bit more creative than Jason than Allen. Allen forces it. Allen has a cannon, but I don't know. That's just what I think. I think Mahomes just has a slight edge.
All right. So Ben, since you know, I didn't let you say anything last segment. They were going back and forth. I'm on. Are the Chiefs being disrespectful?
Yes, I believe they are because they was down 10 points against the Raiders at halftime. So they say basically Mahomes worked his magic and they came back against the Raiders. So yes, they are being disrespected. I think the spread is like 2.5. Yeah, that's really disrespectful. They gotta I don't know if they're thinking about that, but yeah, they are being disrespectful to him.
All right, Nikki.
I have a question for you, Ben. Right?
What's up?
So for you to say, hold on, I'll answer the question about being disrespectful. I have a question because you was like, oh, they were losing against the Raiders. Are you saying the Raiders are comparable to the Bills?
No, I'm just saying
that's the only reason why
no.
that would make that's the only reason why that statement would actually make kind of sense. If you're like, well, they were losing to the Raiders. Are you comparing the Raiders and the Bills? That's the same.
No, I'm not comparing them. No,
okay, then that statement is irrelevant.
I mean, I was just saying because they let the Raiders score 17 on them at halftime. So I mean, I think they was gonna come back.
They were favored in that game. They were favored and they won because it was suspected.
He said they came back from a deficit, and it's not the first time.
We knew they were going to come back from a deficit.
You know, the Raiders didn't stay with the blueprint that they had, and they paid for it. But yeah, go ahead, Nikki. Answer the question, please.
So you said, are they being disrespected? Yes and no.
You can't do that. You got to pick one.
Yeah, I mean, you either believe they are, they're not. I don't think they're being disrespected, but I'll give you.
No. So the problem is this: you got to understand who you're playing, and the team they're playing looks better than their team. It is what it is. So that's why I say no. I only say yes because the Chiefs, they can stay in the game. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, well, they said only by 2 points. How many?
2.5, I think.
Oh, yeah. So, no. I mean, they kept it close.
So, here's my take, right? No, I don't think they're being disrespected. And here's why. Mahomes, the difference between Mahomes and the Chiefs winning some of these games that I feel they probably should have lost is that they have a concept of staying in the fight and never giving up. And with Mahomes, you can't let off, right? So let's look at the Raiders game, for example. That defense was applying pressure. They were against him. He looked uncomfortable. But what happened? The offense stalled out on drives. They didn't put up 7 points when they should have. To beat the Bills, you're either going to have a monster game on defense and get to Mahomes and make him throw the ball away and make him make bad decisions, not allowing him to extend the play, or your offense is going to have to be able to keep putting points up to match his points, right? So with that being said, the number one scoring offense in the league right now is the Chiefs with 31.5 points per game. The Bills are right behind them with 30.4 per game. Their defenses, the Bills are allowing only 12.2 points per game. The Chiefs are allowing on defense 25 points per game.
There you go.
So here, I don't think that they're disrespected. For one, let's look at who they're playing, like Nikki said. It's about matchups, right? And I've said this plenty of times. Matchups. When they went to Tampa and they beat the brakes off the Bucs, that Bucs defense looked mediocre because the matchup was in the favor of the Chiefs. The Bucs defense is very aggressive up front. If you don't keep Mahomes in front of you, he's going to scramble out the pocket. The defense gets tied in the back end. You got Kelsey out there making magic happen, and Mahomes ain't scared to throw the ball to anybody. He just throws it, and you better catch it, right? He knows how to extend the plays, but the Bills can match up.
Yeah,
the Bills can put up points. The Bills could, because Allen could run the ball just like Mahomes. Allen is more athletic than Mahomes is, has a stronger arm than Mahomes is. The only difference between them is the fact that Allen went to a team that was rebuilding and had to rebuild, where Mahomes inherited a team that was already built good with an offensive coordinator. Arguably one of the best coaches in the NFL. of all time, Andy Reid. So Mahomes inherited, not to discount his talent, because his talent is there. He's proven it this year. I lost my deep threat, and I'm making it happen. But now what's happening? That deep threat hurts, right? Because the one game where him and Eric Bieniemy got into it, he wanted to go down the field, and they saying Bieniemy was like, "Listen, bro, we don't got that. We can't spread the field like we used to. So we got to take what we can and just, let's be where we at. Come back and try again at the half." So I don't think they're being disrespected. I feel that, and I said this before, teams are catching up. Teams are catching up. When you are ahead of your game because things are going in your favor and other teams are rebuilding, i.e. last year, the Ravens were the most injured team in the NFL coming into the season. The Bills took them down. They changed the overtime rules because of that game. And it wasn't on Josh Allen, because Josh Allen got him down the field and scored. It was that defense that gave up the big game and the big play to Mahomes to let him go into the AFC Championship. So, no, I don't think they're being disrespected. I'm on the fence on who I'm going to pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills come out with the win, whether it's by 1 point, 2 points, 10 points.
I mean, the Chiefs won the Ravens by 1 point. A win is a win.
And that game, we can sit here and play Monday morning quarterback and say, well, why didn't they go for the extra point, tie it, and then play out the defense? They have 4 minutes left in the game. But we say this all the time, that a team is not just the players, it's the coaching. Maybe McDaniels got too scared there, showed that he didn't have confidence defense. Let's go for the 2 point, get up by 1 point, and let it play out. No, I would have tied it, because you never know what's going to happen the next drive. With 4 minutes
in the game. He did, because they were so far ahead. They went into halftime. Well, not really. Second quarter, they were so far ahead. So I think when it got too close, he was like, "Oh no, we just need to put this stuff away." But it was still too much time left.
But I mean, you talked about this. I get going for it as a 2 point if you have seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter. So it's either I want to go into overtime, or you know what, leave it all on the field. If it was 30 seconds, it was 20 seconds left on the clock, and this is the last play you got, then yes, I agree. Leave it all on the field, because if you pull it out, my man, you just knocked out the Chiefs in a close game. Mm-hmm. But if you didn't, then you played gamble and you went to analytics, right? And you lost. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're being disrespected. I'm not saying that Mahomes is trash. Listen, Mahomes has got my respect a little bit more this season. I'm not going to lie. I still don't like Travis Kelce. I think he's a culture appropriating person. But other than that, the reason I think they're successful, though, is in part because of their coaching. They have good coaches there, Bieniemy and Andy Reid. And all that, though, we talk about the Steelers not fixing their O-line, some teams not fixing their receiving core. Andy Reid has fixed the O-line in the offseason, the receiving core in the offseason, has come up with ways with Eric Bieniemy to make that offense successful. And in the absence of Tyreek Hill, in the absence of a defense losing Tyrann Mathieu, in the absence of a lot of other things. But to beat the Chiefs, you got to be consistently in the same program. You cannot deviate from it. You got to play disciplined defense. Your corners and your safeties can't drop in protection, because the minute you leave that guy open, he's launching the ball, and you're done. You're done. All right. What time? Are we ready for the weekly? Oh, one last tidbit. While we're on the Raiders, after the game, Davante Adams was walking to the tunnel and pushed one of the cameramen down on the field. The cameraman has decided to press charges, and he has pressed charges, and they're filing a misdemeanor against Davante Adams. How do you guys feel about what Davante Adams did?
It was inappropriate. He shouldn't have done it. Like, I know you're 1-4, man, but you should be doing that on the field. Like, you just gotta have some respect. Like, have that frustration in the locker room. Don't put it out on nobody else. I mean, it's not your fault that you're 1-4, but just don't do it like in front of the cameras, because the media is going to eat that stuff up. So, yeah.
So, I think we as humans, sometimes our emotions get the best of us. I think where he went wrong is he didn't even try to help the dude up. Like, you push, you're frustrated, blah, blah, blah. Dude ran into him. You know, your first reaction might be, just like somebody that started, their first reaction is, some people first reaction is to yell. Some people first reaction is to run. Some people first reaction is to swing. You get what I'm saying? But whatever your first reaction, cool, whatever. Why you didn't try to help him up? Oh, I'm sorry. We just happened to collide or whatever. No, you just kept on walking. And I think that was the classless act. When once it happened, he showed no type of remorse. We understand you frustrated. And like you ran after dude and pushed him. Y'all literally collided. You know what I'm saying? You push. Okay, it happens. It happens to the best of us. But you looked at him and just kept walking. Like, come on, bro. I think that's where he went wrong.
Hey, so my dude is upset. And it's crazy, right? Because I'm gonna bring this up at the end of this. The guy that he pushed was probably like 5'7", 127 pounds, right? Right. And that's the very first thing I looked at, because he didn't push another corner or another receiver or another football player. He pushed the guy that was holding the thing, and it wasn't like he was standing in front of him. The dude was walking across, and he didn't even push him hard, but you could just tell the guy didn't weigh that much. I mean, shoot, it was probably like me out there. I would have honestly, I would have fell against the bleachers. I don't know, I would have made a scene. But hey, my dude, but I mean, it was just like he flicked him, and the dude just, he flew back. He wasn't expecting it, and I felt bad for the guy. I'm like, damn, that's messed up, man. But he's number one, even though, man, it's kind of hard. Like you said, though, like our emotions, it doesn't matter how much money we make or what we do in our lives. When our emotions run deep, it makes us do some of the stupidest shit in the world. And that was just an example of it. And then the last thing I was going to say, Frank, was, man, how do you run against each other in a route? I mean, do you not practice that?
Yeah, Renfro and him collided. He's mad at his teammate. He should be mad at himself as a wide receiver,
Yeah.
not at the guy.
He should have pushed Renfro.
I'm gonna take it to a different little spot, and I'm gonna tell you something. And I think it goes back to what Ben said about Lamar Jackson and the color of his skin and how people judge it. My man, you just set yourself back so much, because up until that moment, you had a good reputation. You did. People spoke highly of you. And now, and even afterwards, people spoke about awards that you have won for people having good character, and all you did in a moment of a moment of anger, of frustration that had nothing to do with him. You should push Renfro for running into you. You should push your quarterback. You should push your coach. Don't push the guy that had nothing to do with it and was just doing his job. We were talking about this today at lunch. I probably would hit him with the camera afterwards, because he had a helmet on. So you're not going to hurt him if you punch him. You're going to hurt your hand. I would hit him with that camera. Like, I'm going to lose my job today, but I'm suing you at the same time for pushing me down, because you didn't have to push me down. So anyway, I don't want to say donkey today, because that's a Hot 97 thing.
Bozo today.
Who is it? Bozo today? Yeah. Bozo today goes to Devontae Adams for what he did. And you know what, man? You could tweet it. You can apologize. You didn't leave the locker room and go talk to that man face to face. You didn't request that man to come into the locker room for you to apologize like a man to his face. Twitter doesn't do it, and in the locker room doesn't do it. You should apologize to him. Maybe offer him some season tickets or something, and he probably would have been okay. I think like Nikki said, if he would have helped him up right after and said, "Look, my bad, man. I'm frustrated. I saw you crossing my path. I pushed your way thinking you was a fan trying to get an autograph or something. My bad. I apologize. Let me get you tickets to the next game, and hopefully we can make it up that way." That's it. But he didn't do that. So with that being said, enough about last week, because this week's a new week. And Nikki, are you ready to take the pick'ems down?
Yes. All right, hold on. All right, let me get myself together. All right. So Frank, because you won last week, we'll start with you. Then June. Then you could go ahead, Ben, and then I'll just go ahead and go last. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Thursday night football is Commanders at Bears. Frank.
On Bears, Commanders' issues are deeper than just Wentz. The coach doesn't have faith in his quarterback. They're 1-4 and 0-2 away. I'm going with the Bears, who are 2-0 at home. So Bears.
June.
Bears. Bears.
Ben.
I'm gonna go Bears. Commanders stink.
Can I change my pick?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going with the Commanders. I think Go Buddy said something about Wentz, and Wentz took it personal.
The line is even. Nobody's favored. So, and the over under is 38 points. So, I mean,
I'm going to go with the Bears.
the Bears.
The Bears. All right, next game is the Ravens at Giants. Frank.
My bad, Ben. I'm going Ravens.
June.
Go Ravens.
Ben.
It's gonna be a good game because Wink knows Lamar, so I will say that. So we got the old defensive coordinator, so should be a fun game. But I'm gonna go us.
All right, I'm going Ravens. All right, Jags at Colts. Frank.
I said last week I ain't picking your Jags no more.
Oh, okay. So you're going
That's what I
Colts.
said. Well, no, hold on.
No, no, Frank. You can't look at who's over under. No, because nobody else is doing it.
It hasn't worked for me. So what are you talking about?
It does. So why?
I'm gonna go.
Colts.
I'm gonna go Colts at home.
June.
50 game.
I'm going with the Jags. They're gonna Doug Peterson and the Jags. I'm sorry.
Ben.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jazz. Colts. I don't know what they got going on over there. 12 points. Ugh.
I'm
Nasty game.
going Jags. Patriots at Brown. Frank.
I'm going Patriots.
June.
I'm going Browns.
Ben.
I'm gonna go Pats.
I'm going Pats. Bengals at Saints.
Bengals.
June.
Bengals.
Ben.
Bengals.
I will go Bengals. Buccaneers at Steelers.
Bucks. They're favored by 8 points.
Bucks.
June. Ben.
Bucks by 20.
Oh my God.
He said Bucks by 28.
Yes.
Bray gonna be mad too.
49ers at Falcons.
49ers.
49ers.
Ben.
Niners.
I am going Niners. Jets at Packers.
Jets at where?
Packers.
Oh man.
Oh,
Shit. I'm
Frank.
Packers at home. Packers.
that was disrespectful, Frank.
What?
June.
You Packers.
Bro. What's so disrespectful?
Ben.
Packers.
The Giants beat them. And the Jets are doing good. Jets are 3-2.
Next. Vikings at Dolphins.
Wow. See, this is hard because we don't know who's going to be quarterbacking. I'm gonna go Vikings.
June.
The Vikings and who?
At Dolphins.
Oh, Vikings. Yeah.
Eight.
Ben.
Vikings.
Vikings are 4-1, y'all. Y'all know that?
Yeah. Who
4-1.
gave them that one loss?
Yeah, you guys are. They're one loss.
Oh, that's right. You know what I'm saying? I wanted Nikki to answer that.
Panthers at Rams.
Rams. Baker's hurt. Panthers can't get it right.
Coach got fired too.
June.
True.
Who was it, Nikki?
Panthers at Rams.
Rams. We didn't even talk about that. They fired the whole team.
Yeah, that's true. Ben.
I'm gonna go Rams. CMC got to request a trade to get out of there.
I also
Oh,
going
man.
Rams.
Did you hear Rumorville?
Cardinals
that
at
for?
Seahawks. Frank.
Cardinals.
June.
I got the see Gino.
Ben.
I'm gonna go Cardinals.
I'm actually going to Hawks.
Yeah.
Bills at Chiefs. Frank.
And Josh Allen, I trust. We going Bills. Bills Mafia is going to show up.
June.
Chiefs.
I know you was gonna go Chiefs anyway, so I don't know why you. Ben.
I'm gonna go Bills. Josh Allen's gonna take that game last year personally, so he's gonna ball out.
Right. Cowboys at Eagles. Frank.
I'm going Eagles. Until they show me something other, I'm about to go.
June. We'll go Eagles. Ben.
I don't even know what to say it. I just gotta go Eagles, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Come on, you sound like Nikki, bro. I expected Nikki to say something like that. I bet you Nikki ain't going with them Cowboys.
You know, y'all favored by 6 points. And the over-under is only 42 points combined. Bills and
Chiefs
54 combined.
Damn, this is a hard one for me.
It ain't hard. You making it hard on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, he got a point there. That offensive line for the Eagles is not the offensive line for the Rams. But June, while she thinks about that, while she ponders her answer, I will say this. I need to see more out of Jalen throwing that ball than I do him. He got 2 touchdowns that was rushing. I want to see him because when you meet a team that can stop the rush, what are you going to do then? You got to throw that ball.
I mean, he's shown at least one of the receivers in each game has had close to 100 yards a game. Every game. And then, I mean, what I was saying was, Jalen Hurts is the number 2 rushing player in the entire NFL. The only person ahead of him is Chubb.
Yo, I got a question for you, though. While she still thinks, I'm buying time for her because normally we'd be like, Nikki, come on, pick your fucking pick.
I know.
Nikki,
The thing
it's
about
not,
it is,
oh my God, it's not the Jags. Just pick a team.
Okay, wait, hold on. Everything in me say that the Cowboys gonna pull this upset.
So go with your gut. You didn't go with your gut last weekend.
The smarter thing is to go with the Eagles because I know the Cowboys are hurting. Like Cooper Rush, is just managing the thing, right? They're still scoring, but he's managing. And the more put together team is the. However, I just feel like the defense is gonna play. You get what I'm saying? Like,
what about our defense? We ain't playing.
the way you can get Jalen off his square. You just got to rush him. You just got to put the pressure on him. He is bound to make mistakes.
Micah is dealing with an injury, a groin injury, they think. He played the rest of that game, but he had time to sit there and let that shit.
As I said, my mind is saying Eagles, but my heart.
Well, Nick, pick a damn game, girl, because we got the Monday night football game to go.
All right. I'm going to go Eagles. Or watch Cowboys do what they supposed to do.
Go with the gut. Go with your
I
gut.
know, you did. Okay, Broncos at Chargers.
Chargers.
And that's Monday night game.
If the Broncos were playing more effective and Russell was playing better, I probably went Broncos, but no, I go Chargers.
June?
I'm going Chargers, and with that being said, I guess it is true. Is this the third time we're going to see the damn Broncos on prime time?
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to stop putting them on prime time.
Yeah, hey, that's depressing, man. Look at the stats, fellas.
Ben?
I'm going to go with Chargers.
And I'm also going with Chargers. All right, that concludes the pick'ems.
All right, June, you had some questions before we go?
Damn, what were we just talking about last, bro?
It was about CMC, I think.
Trade rumors.
Oh, yes. So, I was reading this. So, McCaffrey, right?
Oh, yeah.
And this was, I mean, that's huge because they say they're talking about now that with the Panthers firing everything, even the water boy got canned. They're talking about the running back and rebuilding and bringing key pieces in with the draft, right? Which should have been something maybe the Steelers should have done, right?
Hey, Parson is playing, by the way.
So my thing is, I think the number one landing spot for McCaffrey was the Bills, right? They were willing to give up the most. However, the Eagles are also in talks. If you see McCaffrey going to another team, where would you think you would place him at this year?
Probably the Bills because they need a running game besides Allen.
Mm-hmm. If I'm him, I'm going to where I think I could win a ring. And right now, where can I be effective and be useful would be the Bills. I don't see him there or the Chiefs because the Chiefs really don't have a running game either. I don't see the Eagles, and I'm going to tell you why, because Sanders is doing pretty good. Your quarterback is a scrambling quarterback more than, like you said, his stats are more than even Josh Allen at that point and Lamar Jackson. So I think the Bills, the Chiefs, even maybe the Ravens, because him and Dobbins as a 1-2 punch. Oh my God! You go two backs in the backfield, and you don't know if he's going to run it or throw it, and you got a guy like McCaffrey that can catch the ball out the backfield. That's crazy. And those are just teams I'm thinking off the top of my head that are contenders. I don't think the Eagles need any help on anything, to be honest with you. I think the Eagles will go as far as Jalen Hurts will take them. And that's what I believe.
CBS got McCaffrey, Bills, and Broncos as the 1 and 2 landing spots.
If Russ was playing better, maybe. But what about Odell? Where's he gonna go when he comes back?
I heard the Packers, Chiefs, or Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I heard they said Rams was one team, but they came with a low offer. Some people said the Bucks. I could see the Chiefs needing they need a true wide receiver one.
The Chiefs might be a good place for him.
But he's going to be required to do a lot more than just what he was doing with the Rams. And I don't know if he can hold up.
The Rams ain't.
Actually, the Chiefs don't even need him. I'll be honest with you. See, watching the Chiefs, their tight ends are catching the ball. Them Juju has his moments. It's Mahomes, man. Mahomes, he just, I hate to say it, as much as I'm not a big fan, or I think they give him too much credit, but that motherfucker's nice. He's nice. He's nice. We didn't talk about the roughing the passer against Brady, and then the one against Jones,
Oh,
the Chiefs game. I don't know. We spoke about this at nauseum before, and we said that that's a Tua effect. The NFL is going to a passive friendly league. And I was watching Inside NFL, and Ray Lewis was so upset, and Julian Edelman made his comments. I'm not going to repeat it because I don't 100% agree with it, but I do agree with one thing: when you're playing veteran quarterbacks or smart quarterbacks, you got to be careful how you sack a person. When Crosby had Patrick Mahomes locked in, he could have slammed him to that floor if he wanted to. And you know what he did? He held him upright and waited for the whistle to blow. That was a smart sack because he knew that if he threw him on the ground, throw the flag. So you gotta be smart.
I don't feel like he threw it on the bench. He look.
It was textbook. It was a textbook sack. Don't get me wrong. He didn't. He rolled them, and it just looked. It looked aggressive. But this is where we're at because of the Tua situation. If Tua never happened, I don't think they'll be calling these calls. It's not just with him. Teddy Bridgewater got hit in the end zone. He didn't even hit his head hard. Took him out the game. Oh no, you look concussed. That's it. Put the third string in. You got other players that get hit. Oh, no, you look wobbly, bro. You got to go sit in the bench. So look, it's just what's going to be. This is where we're at. Blame the Dolphins. That's what I say.
Oh no, it's definitely the Dolphins.
And that ref needs to be fired too.
But that's the thing. You got to understand. We said this, and I really shouldn't even repeat it. You got to play for another down. Now you lost Tua. Now look, now you're losing games.
Yes. They were the favorites and going, they were strong. Like June said, they beat the questionable Bills. I don't think the Bills are questionable. Actually, before we end it and do our closing remarks, the number one team in the power rankings in NFL Network is
the Chiefs.
Nope, the Buffalo
Bills.
Oh, the change. Okay.
Second would be the Eagles, and then it'd be like the Chiefs or whatever. But the Bills are number one. June, how disrespected do you feel as an Eagles fan that your team is 5-0 and a 4-1 team is at the top of the power ranking?
No disrespect at all.
No,
I think that's disrespectful. I think I already said it. The team to beat in the AFC is not the fucking Bills. It's the Ravens.
But the Ravens.
The
Bills beat the Ravens.
And even with that L, how disrespectful is that? That you would still have to beat the Ravens again to be the number one, to be the team to beat. Because once these Ravens make those adjustments, it's a wrap.
We'll see.
For the AFC, for the entire AFC. And one thing I was going to mention earlier, I didn't mention it. The Bengals actually looked good this past Sunday. They play Sunday or Monday.
Sunday.
Yeah. The Bengals actually looked good, especially in the second half.
Who would you rather face? If let's say, and we got to close it up, but let's say Eagles make it to the Super Bowl. Who would you rather face, the Bills or the Ravens?
Honestly, I'd rather face the Bills.
He was going to say that.
And let me tell you, hold on. Let me tell you why. We got arguably the best secondary in the entire NFL. Once we take those receivers away from Allen, all we got to do is worry about that run game. Now, once we take that run game away from what's his name, from Lamar, and he still has to throw. Now we're dealing with a quarterback that can do multiple things, which we have to worry about. Not just the run game, we have to worry about our secondary as well. You take that secondary away from these folks, from the Bills, I don't know. I'm going to do some research on that. When what happens when the Bills receivers get shut down?
June, do you know that Allen leads the league in passing yards by 1651?
Okay. Take away his receivers. What do you have? What Bills teams do you have when you take away his receivers?
But
when you're applying that pressure?
His receivers, though.
I mean, look at the first game of the season. My man threw, 3 picks or something like that? When you apply that pressure and you have some decent corners that wanted to play?
The Bills? Who they played the first week of the season?
The Rams. The Super Bowl champions, y'all said, remember?
And then they beat them? They manhandled them, didn't they?
Yeah, but he still had a crappy game, in my opinion. He threw 3 picks, I think it was. Three. I mean,
He threw 2 picks for 3 touchdowns,
oh
207
God,
yards,
I
and
almost died there, man. For a second.
only missed 5 incompletions. 5.
Bring on the damn Bills, damn it.
He had a passer
I
rating
want to
of
play the Ravens.
112 and a QBR of 89. He was
Lamar,
in that game.
Lamar's gonna shut things down, and if OBJ goes down there, that'll really be a problem.
Dude, I think you're a hater, bro. I really do think.
Factual.
I think you're a hater, bro. I think you are. I think you hate. Just like I be talking crap about Mahomes, you be talking crap about Allen, bro. You. Oh my! I don't think you want to face either one of those teams in Super Bowl, bro.
I'd rather face the Bills than the Ravens, but either one, bring them on.
No. All right. Well, with that being said, let's close it out. Ben, go first, bro. Then Nikki, June, and I'm gonna end it.
It's always a pleasure being on this podcast. I enjoy talking about football and other great stuff. So let's hope my Giants can be 5-1 for first time since God knows when. So let's go, Big Blue.
June.
Hey, it was a pleasure being here. It's always great sitting at the top of the mountain in the pick'ems. Also sitting top of the mountains in the NFL, 5-0. And last but not least, hey, let's go Phillies. Let's whoop on these Atlanta Braves. We're definitely the underdogs in the Major League Baseball, but you see what we did to St. Louis in the first game of Atlanta. Let's go.
Nikki.
Talk to you later, America.
Hey, this episode is gonna be titled "They Should Have Took a Page Out of Our Book" by Ben. Thank you for listening.
Right.
That's the play call. Subscribe,
Ben tried it with that one. But all right.
subscribe, share, like, comment. Please leave us comments and let us know what we can do better, what you like, and what you want to see more of. This is Frank Presents the Play Call. Until next week.
Bye.